Warning, I'm on a journey to handicap home runs in Major League Baseball. I'm not claiming to be sharp and I'm not claiming to have an edge. I bet based on the three-piece pitcher, park, and price. We probably won't win long term, and this is for education and entertainment. If you like the video, like the video. There's no added vig for clicking that thumb. I love you all. Welcome back to the Green Beans Go channel. It's your host, me. And while it was a losing day yesterday, we did hit 5 wagers, and I'm reflecting every day, as you guys know, and I've had a lot of support. So again, that's a huge shout out to you guys. But where I'm going to give myself some grace is we have played over 440 different wagers, and we're only down 1 unit. So, I have to be somewhat thankful. I've played 448 bets, and I'm down a unit. That's not too bad. But today I feel like we might take it up a notch. We might excel. I feel optimistic about today, so let's get into it. It's a Sunday, which means all but one game occurs in the afternoon, which is typically better for home runs. Typically, it is better for home runs in the afternoon, daytime, warm sun, fresh winds a-blowing. So we'll start the game in Arizona. In Milwaukee, Bryce Turang, if you're giving him at 15-1, I'm going to take him every time. Christian Yelich, I think, is grossly underpriced at $8.30 on FanDuel. That's why he's green today. And then the other side of the ball, we have Corbin Carroll, Geraldo Perdomo, Pavin Smith, and Josh Naylor. I know you guys are probably tired of seeing these names, but I am not tired of seeing them at these prices. And not too long ago, all 4 of them hit a home run in the same game, and it was the one day I laid off. I think we can get 2 today, and I'm optimistic we're going to get 2, so I'm running it back. Game in St. Louis, the winds are incredibly helpful today. 20 miles an hour blowing out to left field. The pitching is fine. The prices, however, were atrocious. The prices are all accounting for this wind, which I don't think is making as much of a difference as the prices are. I look at Castellanos. I looked at Trey Turner. I looked at JT Realmuto. And their prices were insulting to me. So I skipped it. Those are names that I don't care if you play, if you want to get some action down on this game. But again, I was looking at Castellanos. I wanted above 600. I think he was in the 4s. So I'm skipping that game. The game in Yankee Stadium, I think we're finally going to get some Yankees bats swinging again. Yes, Logan Webb. I can't speak today. Logan Webb is pitching for San Francisco, good pitcher, but I think there are a significant number of bats who can get after him, and I'm going with Ben Rice at 6-1. Cody Bellinger at 9-1 on DraftKings is insane. Bad wing Bellinger, as we'll call him, missed a few games due to eating some bad wings, is what was reported. But he's back, and I hope he wings one out into right center field. Jazz Chisholm at 650, I think, is grossly underpriced for this matchup. Austin Wells at 8-1 on ESPN, and Jason Dominguez at 9-1. Now, the only guy that I am curious about in terms of lineup would be Trent Grisham. If he's over 6-1, I will have it as an official play. I'll tweet it out. We'll have to wait until lineups come out. He's not in the projected lineup, therefore books are not carrying his number, but I can see a way that he starts today, so just keep that in mind. The game in LA should be one of the best games for home runs. We have Colin Ray on the mound for the Cubs. I'm also skipping the game in Chicago. I don't like the bats. The wind's blowing in. You'll probably get 1 or 2 home runs, but I wasn't going to try to pick the guy who did it. I'm really optimistic for this game in LA. I think there's some promos out there, so if you want to incorporate my picks into your promos somehow, be my guest. Freddie Freeman at 4-1, Max Muncy at 470. Again, they're hanging Tommy Edman over 600, which I think for what he's proven this year, that is ridiculous. So that's why he's green at 9-1. Michael Conforto at 540. Other side for the Cubs, we have Kyle Tucker at 450. Anything above 400 I liked. Ian Happ at 600. Bush hit 2 last night. They're giving him to us at 6-1. So those are my plays for the late night game. Hopefully we go into the last game already up units no matter what happens. Hopefully we get some absolute bangers today, and then we hit like a Conforto Tucker. Boom. We feel even better. So those are the plays for the late night game. I realized that Toronto and Baltimore is -16 in home run percentage based on the average. But again, I think with the short right field, I think with the wind helping, and I think with Berrios on the mound, it is a perfect storm for Baltimore to send 2 out. So hopefully the 2 that they send out come from one of these individuals. Henderson, 575. Rutschman, 8-1. O'Hearn, 9-1. Mullins at 9-1, I think is ridiculous. That's why he's green. And Holiday at 11-1. For the game in Cincinnati, neutral conditions, more or less, but I couldn't get to a place where I loved a lot of these picks. We saw Ellie De La Cruz hit a grand slam last night. Of course, I didn't have him. That's fine. I'm going with TJ Friedel and Candelario as my only 2 plays in this one. I think the 8-1 price is good, and I think the 6-1 price is good there. Moving on to the game in Houston, we have a situation where Nolan Shonwell hit one last night, and I didn't have him, and I'd been having him for a while. The matchup just didn't call for it yesterday, and that happens. But I like him for this matchup in a park where I know he's comfortable. He hit one last night, so we'll run it back at 11-1. Luis Rengifo at 9-1 I also like. And then for Houston, Altuve, Walker, and Alvarez. Yes, you see it. I'm playing a guy in the 300s. I think Alvarez's matchup against, I believe it's Kyle Hendricks today, it should be a bloodbath. Now, I was on the opposing bats for Kyle Hendricks last time he pitched, and he came out and was looking like prime pitcher boy 6000. I mean, just dealing. But today, let's hope that he looks like Kyle Hendricks, and he doesn't look great, and we get a couple home runs. Game in Tampa Bay? No. Oh, crap, I forgot. That game didn't have lineup. I knew I was going to do this. For some reason, the lineups for this game were not out yet. I'll add it to the comments like I did for Philly that one day. I'll go back and check. There just weren't players up at this point in the day, so I'll come back to that. Whoops, I am off my rocker. I'm going the wrong way. Game in San Diego, I like Tatis and Manny Machado. That's it. Keeping it small, keeping it light. The game in Washington or Miami, I realize it says 21% negative. Wind is blowing in, sure, but it's an indoor stadium and wind doesn't have a huge impact, even if they're letting a draft in. Cal Quantrill is pitching for the Marlins. On the other side of the ball for the Marlins, Derek Hill at 12-1 I'll take. But then for Washington, guys, we're running it back. If I die on this sword, I die on this sword. But it's worked for us. We're probably net positive on the year. Doing this strategy, I'll do it again. Lowe, Wood, Garcia, Bell, and Ruiz. Again, one of these guys hits a home run, we're positive. 2 of them hit a home run, we're feeling great. And 3 of them, this number goes positive tomorrow. So let's lock in, guys. Washington, get to swinging. Game in, where are we? Cleveland. This one I went back and forth on. I toyed with it a bit. Vinny Pasquantino, 525. MJ Melendez, 475. Michael Massey, 560. All for Kansas City, I'll take. Ramirez, 500. And then Carlos Santana, I think at 750 at this park is ridiculous, so that's why he is green. Moving on to the game in Minnesota, I skipped completely, didn't like it. Just I don't like picking games in Minnesota. Yes, there's probably going to be a few guys that hit home runs today, but I'm staying off of it. Game in Sacramento with the A's, where the A's are playing this year. I will give you my best picks, which are Lindor and Brent Batty. Brent Batty is playing horrible this year. He's not seeing the ball well, but it's got to come around sometime, and I think this is the matchup where it could come around. So that's what I'm picking. I looked at Lawrence Butler. I looked at Tyler Soderstrom. Their numbers are just too low for me. The market has adjusted. I'm staying off. Game in Seattle. Texas-Seattle is the last game of the day. Good pitching, but I don't think it's great pitching. Rowdy Tellez, 9-1 against Eovaldi. I like that number. Cal Raleigh, 425. I like that number. Luke Raley, 650. I like that number. For Texas, against Logan Gilbert, Seager at 475. I said anything over 400 I'd play. And Jock Peterson, anything over 500 I'd play. We got 600, 475 respectively. Now, I'm adding something new today, which I think the degens out there, the gambling addicts out there, the guys who just want to have fun out there, they're going to enjoy this. And so we will adjust this chart tomorrow. But I am going to make a couple parlays, which I typically don't love, as it relates to my green picks. Now, if you look up here, you're horrible at green picks. Well, yes, but it's a much smaller sample size. And I think long term, hopefully, the green picks show some promise. So, what I'm going to do is when I have guys who I really like at Park, Pitcher, and Price, I love their matchup, I am going to combine them because if I'm right, I want to be very right. So on ESPN, and I would only play this on ESPN, Cedric Mullins and Nathaniel Lowe are both green. I think both of their numbers are atrocious, ridiculous, and I think their matchups today are great. So we're going to combine them in a parlay, and we're going to put 0.05 units on it. Very, very small. Very, very small. So if your unit is $100, you should not be betting more than $5 on this. Do you understand? 89 to 1. And then on FanDuel, the two best FanDuel picks that I had today, Carlos Santana at 750 and Christian Yelich 830. Now, I will tell you right now, when I got around to locking this in at the very end, Yelich had dropped to 800. So it's 75 to 1 for 0.05 units. If you want to do this on DraftKings, again, I can't really get down on DraftKings, but nor here nor there. Bellinger, I think 9 to 1 is a good piece. And if you want to get extremely wild, Derek Hill would be kind of a second piece. Even though he's red, I think 12 to 1 is nuts. So Bellinger and Derek Hill over on DraftKings. That's what I got for you today. Enjoy the Masters. Rory, congratulations, Rory. You've won the Grand Slam. Or has he? Or has he? If Corey Connors wins, I will be ecstatic. I've got some good action on Corey Connors. We'll see you tomorrow.